You ready?
What?
Well, we were going to use the Force. Try to move some stuff from across the room, stuff like that. Maybe even convince somebody they're doing something they don't want to do, but they do want to do it, but they don't want to do it, but they do want to do it.
Oh, it's like, wait, let me try. You will play the new Star Wars trailer.
You will play the new Star Wars trailer.
You will play this new Star Wars trailer.
Hey, Tommy, you'll click the button. There we go. Following preview has been approved for all audiences. Now, we're VIP audience. Why didn't I approve it for VIP audience? Oh, I wonder if that is who I think it is. Something about every time I hear that piano.
Mysterious Star Wars music.
The Star Wars music.
Now, who is this? Ooh, she's a badass. I rebel. Oh, really?
I'm thinking maybe it's I don't know, a new character. I don't recognize her.
No, I don't recognize her. Ooh, the Death Star. Now, what?
Star Destroyer. That's
Death Star. Now, why is a Death Star in this?
That's what the movie's about.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Wow.
How many times have you watched this?
I saw it on TV the first time. On
So you watched it once?
once.
Okay, I've never seen it. So I'm trying not to miss anything.
What will you do if they break you?
What will you do if they break you?
If you continue to fight. What will you become?
Is it Princess Leia or who is that?
I don't know.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story. December this year, dude.
Really?
Yes, this year. Somebody told me December 2017, but this is this year.
So, question for you, Hamza.
What, can I put you in a coma and just wake you up when it's time?
No.
Because that's what I was gonna ask.
No, like, why is a Death Star in this particular trailer?
Well, let me tell you, from what I've heard, this movie, the story, as you will, it takes place between the third episode, the last episode of the first trilogy, numerically speaking,
Really?
and the first episode of the second trilogy, which is the ones they made in, in the 70s or whatever. A New Hope. It takes place between episode 3 and episode 4.
How can they do that?
So this is before A New Hope.
When this was...
This is, in A New Hope, the Death Star was already there. This is while they're building the Death Star. This is a time period after Darth Vader was born. After Anakin became Darth Vader. Before A New Hope.
Really?
Yeah, so this is everything that happened before A New Hope. It's like a prequel to A New Hope.
Now the thing is, like, look at Mark Hamill. He does not look like he did when he was back. Now I wonder.
Well, I don't think he's even in this movie.
You don't think he's in this movie?
No, I don't think so. Because Luke Skywalker might be a baby in this movie.
Well,
Because
technically.
this is before Luke Skywalker ever met Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Really?
Yes, this is before he was old enough to even hear about the Force yet.
Darth Vader
This might
was...
be when he was a baby still. He might be a toddler. He might be 10. He might be the age of Anakin in the first episode of Star Wars. The Phantom Menace. Remember how Anakin was just a boy with the Force? He had a high midichlorian count, as I recall.
Yes, a lot of people think the midi-chlorian count is ridiculous. I've heard from other reviews, but I just know that's what apparently. What the heck is midi-chlorians? I've heard people say that.
Apparently, it's like a genetic disposition to be strong with the Force. It gives somebody an advantage over a regular being.
Have you ever noticed in Star Wars movies when the villain always have you noticed the villain always wears black gloves, like they just...
Well, they do call it the dark side of the Force.
Or because remember in The Force Awakening,
now are these gloves that you're wearing right here? Are they from the dark side?
I don't know. They're just my sting gloves. These are my sting gloves I wear sometimes.
They look a bit small. I see your ring is actually breaking through to the other side. Break on through to the other side.
But I have to say, this trailer was kind of gripping. I think this is a teaser. Now, one thing about Hamza, it's absolutely crazy. Hamza won't watch a trailer if he won't watch trailers at all because he says he doesn't want it to ruin it. But the thing is, it just gives you, it's like eating a piece of cake. It's like, here's a big piece of cake right here. Hamza will put a graphic right here, probably. Cake. Ah! Am I right, Hamza?
I don't know if I can take the time out of my day to make you a cake logo.
But it's like taking a piece of that cake and it's sweet. And then after you wait until December of this year, it's like it's like, okay, now I get to do this. I get to boom,
bash your face into the cake. 9-month-old cake at that point. But I mean, to me, what it's like is, it's like eating a piece of a wedding cake before the wedding. I feel like when you see a movie, if everything is surprising and everything is completely new, there's no spoilers, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't even know who's going to be in the movie, you might not even know really what it's going to be about. I think those are the best movies. Everything's a complete surprise.
You remember the episode of Seinfeld where when Elaine ate the old wedding cake, like from the back in the
I don't know, I could look it up on Hulu. I got Hulu Plus. So.
Yeah, she gets this old cake that her boss has, and she eats it every single day. And through the whole process as she's eating the cake, she's like, "Oh no," And then her boss goes to take the cake.
Why did she say, "Oh no"? It's rotten.
Yeah, it's been sitting in the freezer for a long time, but she doesn't realize it. And you just have to watch. I don't want to spoil it for you. You just have to watch.
You don't want to spoil Seinfeld for me, but you want to force me to watch a Star Wars trailer, folks. I wasn't going to watch this Star Wars teaser trailer because I was so excited about the movie coming out this year, and then Tommy was saying, well, it'll be December 2017. It's actually December this year. That's only like 8 months away, so I'm pretty stoked about it because at this point we get a Star Wars movie every year, and I only watched it to do this reaction video. And you know what, I'll just tell you what, I was really excited to see the big walkers like from Empire Strikes Back. They were like walking around in the snow shooting lasers, and in this they're actually walking around in like a temperate zone, It wasn't snowy. I thought maybe those things were built just for the snow, but actually they were walking around here in a regular, either a temperate zone or a desert or something, but it wasn't snowy, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it wasn't snowy at all, and I have to say that this general guy that in the white white suit, I'm like in the white, I'm like, who is that? At first I thought it was Mark Hamill. I thought, is that Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill? Oh, Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, I thought it was Luke Skywalker.
I didn't see anyone I recognized.
No, I didn't recognize anybody, and I think
looks like there's a female lead character, but I don't know if that's supposed to be young Princess Leia or what. I don't know who that is. And then there's also another guy. It looked like he might be an Asian actor,
Yeah.
Looked like he was pretty
break
skilled with the
you
weaponry.
break?
He was doing some interesting weaponry stuff.
I think it's interesting in most in the newest Star Wars trailers that how Hollywood is really trying to give Star Wars its own look, because I felt like with J.J. Abrams being on the project and directing Star Wars, I felt like it was going to honestly look like Star Trek, because honestly, Star Trek has that feel, that Star Trek-y feeling, because J.J. Abrams directed that.
Like when you watch it, you feel kind of like a nerd.
No, but every movie has its own. Every movie has its own feeling. So when I watched Star Wars: The Force Awakens for the first time, I was like, wow.
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. I said, this Star Wars has its own feel. It doesn't feel like any other science fiction movie.
Is it more like there's something about Mary? What?
This is what it's like to work with Hamza, folks.
Sorry, I have a short attention span, and so your mind has wings, and the wings of my mind aren't that long sometimes. So my attention span, or the wingspan of my attention is.
Hamza's kind of like one of those fat birds that tries to jump out of the nest and is like.
Yes, folks, I'm like a fat bird trying to jump out of the nest. So did we pass our 2-minute mark yet?
I don't know, but
I think we did.
So folks, just want to say, This has been a reaction video of the new Star Wars trailer. This is Hamza Vlogs, youtube.com/Hamza Vlogs. Go check him out. He has all sorts of rap music and stuff on there, and different things on there. His vlogs.
Is this my site right here?
No, that's my site.
Oh,
Tommy NC2010, keeping you on the inside fact.
Jack.
Jack.
That's a fact, Jack.
Keeping you, subscribe, support, stay positive, keeping you on the inside fact.